Okay, we're going to move on to game 2 now. I've just realised I didn't really have the models or anything to represent the next of the game, just because I don't have enough. So, sorry about that, people, but I'll just talk you through them, okay? Right, now the game 2 was capture the objective. It was called Search and Recover. Now I was pit against Mr. Castle, whose real name was Phil, and he had a British army. Basically, I used obviously the army you see, and he had 2 British units, British sniper, heavy machine gun team, and Bren carriers carrying them. His anti-tank was actually put into his units. He didn't have any mechs really or any sorts. He just put his anti-tank rifles within his infantry. Okay, and the objectives were obviously 1 in each of our deployment zones and the 3rd one in the centre. So really the game went about who could hold the one in the centre the longest. And the way the game went, it was a very close game. Basically, my infantry were not, as usual, doing not bugger all to nothing. My mechs, on the other hand, were actually winning games, especially my medium mech. It was killing tons. And for most of the game, neither of us could get to the middle objective. His infantry pinned down my infantry, and they were just stuck in buildings. If they dared to venture out, they would have just got absolutely ripped to shit. But my Comanches were going around the flank into the forests, mowing down British in the forests. And my mech got immobilised very early, but luckily was immobilised in an area where had a really nice clear range of fire to the objective and stopped most things going there. What happened was last turn, the very last action of the last turn of the game, because it was only 5 turns this game, was that his Bren carrier zipped round and got the objective, which put him 1 point over me. So it was going to be a draw, but then became a minor loss because he had 1 point more than me. Okay, so that was the second game.
Yep, next part of the tournament breakdown is game 3, which was versus Ostman with his German drop trooper platoon. Now the way drop troopers work is that they're, imagine power armoured Germans that can deep strike. Yeah, bloody scary. So if you can imagine the deployment, the objective of the game was to capture the hill. It was 3 more than your opponent was a minor victory, and 6 more than your opponent was a major victory. So the way the deployment worked was, first he obviously held back most of his, well, about basically 90% of his army was held back in reserve to be dropped. He basically deployed 2 of his scout troopers, both held buildings of either flanks. Centre building that overlooked the objective, and on the left flank, which was this church building, if you look at the swamp board. I obviously deployed all my things. Troops in the middle, holding the centre building, that big ruined grey building, and my mechs on either side. The left flank was my medium mech, my right flank was my Comanches. But my idea was to repeat what Castle did to me in the previous game, which was to hold the troops in the building, wait until the very last minute and skip and hold the objective. Right? Sadly did not go that way. My mechs were just a dream. They were mowing down things like no tomorrow. The only problem was Ostman deep striked his Germans right in behind my infantry and mowed them down inside the building. My medium mech managed to then walk to a whole circuit of the board, got onto the objective and was shooting down basically destroyed his medium drop mech, and basically was mowing down most of his troops. But the problem was, right at the last minute, he pulled his troops in a building and then moved them onto the objective, thus scoring 3 more than me, right on the last action yet again, causing me for a minor loss. Yeah, very gutted. It was a very last minute loss. Hey there, right, let's go down to the breakdown of game 4, which was Night Fight. Now this was the most unusual game of the tournament, it was night fight, so no line of sight could be made unless within 18 inches. Okay, and unless you had infrared tech on one of your vehicles or mechs. And the objective of the game wasn't to kill, it was to capture prisoners. This was done by knocking down, think of like a wounded result in like Necromunda or a second edition 40k. And once they were down, you had to engage that model in hand-to-hand combat, thus captured. I was pit against Graham's Soviet zombie army, which was quite a scary thing, because zombies can only stay down, automatically get up so you only get one turn to nab them, otherwise they'll just get back up, and zombies are just lethal in hand-to-hand combat. So what I basically did was I hid my infantry in the woods so they couldn't be targeted, and marched my mechs out. One Comanche got blown up in the first turn. My medium mech was just mowing down zombies like no tomorrow. Basically, my aim was for a draw. I wasn't going to aim to win this. I thought it's just too difficult, too risky to win this, so I was aiming for a draw. My Comanches held the centre road, and the idea was they would just mow down the zombies as they advanced. He would mow down the zombies as they advanced, pull back, won the game. Problem was, one was blowing up the Comanches, the other one was rendered immobilised. His pilot was stuck in the mech, trapped inside the mech. So now I had something that cannot move, and basically enemies could go and run and grab the pilot. So the other remaining Comanche held the road to protect him, while my medium mech was coming along, killing whatever to try and do it. And it basically boiled down to the very last turn. If I won initiative, I could mow down what was in front of me, causing a draw. If he got initiative, his commissar would run in, nab the pilot, which was then a major victory for him. Sadly, I lost the initiative, and Graham's commissar ran in, grabbed the guy, and it was a major victory for the Soviets. So yeah, that was game. Hey all, this is the final part of the breakdown, which is game 5, which was called Hot Contact. Now the basic aim for this game was kills. If you could render your opponent 25% less of his original size, and you're I think you was 75%, then it was a major victory. If you knocked him down 25% and you're 50%, minor victory. If it was on the par, draw. And I was pit against Don with his, again, Soviet army, but this one was mainly soldiers, and with a light armoured car and it was a JSU? No, not JSU. It was some sort of medium tank. That was the scary part of the army. Basically, I was a bit jammy. I hid my troopers behind a hill, and they never moved out for the whole game, because I don't have the numbers to just sacrifice. My medium mechs went through a town to try and hopefully take its flank, where my medium mech held centre point. Basically, the game went with a to and fro slinging match between his tank and my medium mech. Right at the end, my tank won. My tank won, causing the pilot to come out, and then I machine gunned the pilot down. My Comanches on the flank moved in, shot down a load of his troopers with demolition and things, moved around, killed Vasily Zatsev, who was holding a hill, shot him down, who in turn killed, because earlier Vasily killed one of my heavy weapon crews. My mech then moved round, killed 2 snipers, and basically mowed down. It was a bit of a cheat because I hid my troopers, but it got me a major victory, which then knocked me up from last place, because me and Don were basically joint last place. So who won the wooden spoon relied on that game. And yeah, I caused a major victory, which knocked me up 2 places to 16th place. So yeah, that was my breakdown of the Secrets of the Third Reich tournament. I've seen a lot of interest, people, so there will be a battle report coming soon of the game. And yeah, any questions, please ask me about the game, because it'd be cool if I can get some more people into this game. Yeah, if you want to join the forum, go on Westwind Productions. There is a forum on there. Go on there, please. Really nice bunch of guys, and you'll get to talk to some of the other tournament players on there. Okay, people?